So today we're doing two looks with the brand new Natasha Denona Mini Biba eyeshadow palette. If you would have seen one of my last videos, I had done an initial first impressions on this eyeshadow palette. When it first came out, it has more in-depth swatches and comparisons to other eyeshadow palettes that may be similar in my collection. And if you're interested in that, then I'll have that linked for you up in the eye and as well in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get started. Now for these two looks, I'm going to do one look on my left eye, one look on my right. So if we look crazy, you know, it's all for a good cause. I really want to show you guys what this palette can do, and I also want to play around with it a little bit more and get a better feel for it as well. So the first shade that I'm going to be dipping my brush into is going to be this shade right here called Plush. It's a creamy matte and I'm using a Rephr 15 for this. And I'm going to be doing this look on my right eye. And I'm just going to use this color, just blending it through my crease with windshield wiper motions. I just want to bring some definition to my crease. Now I've already primed my eyes with my Langlo paint pot. That is my preferred eyeshadow base. Eyeshadow blended very well, and I'm going to dip into that coral salmon-y color in the palette, this shade right here called Izzy, and I'm going to use the same brush for that. And I'm just going to use this to go over that color and just bring in some of the pink tone from the palette. And just a windshield wiper motions, and then out in the outer corner I'm doing some circular motions to blend as well. Next up, I'm gonna dip into Blaze Nude, which is the metallic shade right here in the center, and I'm gonna put that all over my lid. I really do love this shade. I think it is so pretty. I love when Natasha Denona adds in these blinding shimmer shades. These nice champagne beigey metallics. I love them. They're always just so good. Now that I've applied that with my finger, I'm going to dip back into that first shade that we used, Plush, and I'm going to bring that right through the crease, very low, with that same Rephr 15. I'm going to take it through the outer corner and then sweep it really low right into that crease just to blend those edges. Okay, we are done with the top part of our eye. Now let's go ahead and move to the lower lash line. I'm going to be picking up a Rephr 13 and I'm going to dip into the shade Plush first, and I'm going to buff this right along my lower lash line and connecting it with the outer corner. Now I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Izzy right over top. I wanted to keep this side very light, simple, and wearable because I feel like the last look that I did with this palette, it was kind of dramatic because I was just trying to use up all the shades and really get a sense of how everything performed and blended. So I wanted to take and break them down a little bit this time and really see what we were working with. Okay, so this is the finished first look with eyeliner and mascara on. I just used my Bite Upswing mascara and I used my Dose of Colors eyeliner in Unboxed and my Maybelline Tattoo Studio eyeliner in Bold Brown. Okay, for the second look, I really want to play with these darker browns. I didn't really play with the cream to powder that much in the first look that I did, so I want to see really how that performs because I found that beforehand I was having problems picking it up on my brush. So this cream to powder that I'm talking about is called Wink. It's right here, and I'm just using a Rephr 15 for this. So I am going to tap it down first, starting right here at the outer corner of my eye, and then I'm going to start blending in circular motions with my brush. And this is way softer than I thought it was going to be. I thought this color was going to be way deeper. it's like only slightly darker than the eye primer I have on. I'm gonna see if I can build it up. I'm just going back in, same brush, same color, tapping down the same place, and now blending it out. Windshield wiper motions, and I was doing circular motions right here at the outer corner. I suppose that looks okay. It's definitely not the color that I thought it was going to be, completely blended out. I definitely expected it to be way darker. Like if you look like in comparison, like this eye to this eye, this color itself almost looks the exact same as what I already have. I'm really disappointed that I couldn't build up a little bit more depth with it. I'm going to pick up my Rougher #1 and I'm going to dip into this shade right here. It's a creamy matte called Bruno, and I'm going to see if I can really intensify this outer corner. So just tapping it down right here on the outer third of my lid. I'm going to wipe off whatever excess there is on my brush off, just because I don't want things getting too messy. And then I'm going to start blending these edges with the same Rougher #1. It works very well for this. It's a nice little pinched, fluffy brush. I'm going to dip back in and grab a little bit more Bruno and just blend it inward just slightly, not too much. Now I'm going to grab my Rougher 16 and I'm going to go into the shade Plush right here. And I'm going to use this just to kind of blend everything together. Starting on the outer corner and then working my way in. And now I'm going to go right back into that metallic shade, Blaze Nude, this one right here, with my finger again. And I'm going to put this all over my lid. I'm using the excess to tap a little bit over, and I'm using a clean finger just to tap at the edges and make sure it's not too harsh. I'm going to take a clean Rougher 14 and I'm just going to use this to blend these edges right here of the shimmer. I don't want it to look too much like a faux cut crease. I just want it to look blurred and blended. I'm going to pick up that Rougher #1 and I'm just going to blend these edges here, right at the outer corner. Now for the under eye, what I want to do is I'm going to grab the color Wink on a Rougher #3. It's just a tiny little pencil brush. I'm going to pick up some of this color and I just want to show you guys something really quick. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but if you look around the edges of the pan, because I've been digging into it with my brush and my fingers and everything, it's starting to crumble. So this formula is definitely different than Natasha Denona's previous cream to powder formulas. It's a lot drier, and I feel like that's pretty evident by the crumbling you're seeing right there in the pan. But anyway, taking Wink on a pencil brush, and I'm running that right along my lower lash line. Now I'm going to dip into a little bit of Bruno as well. And I'm running that right along the lash line, teasing it into the roots of my lashes. Now I'm going to grab a Rougher 14 and I'm going to dip into the shade Plush right here. And I'm going to use it just to kind of smoke everything out. Okay, so this is the finished look before I go ahead and put on any eyeliner or mascara. You can see that the tones are very similar even though I used completely opposite colors. But I'll be right back. Alright guys, so these are the two final looks with a liner and mascara on. Over here to finish things up, I just used my Bite Upswing mascara and I used my Maybelline Tattoo Studio eyeliner in Bold Brown. I used that on my waterline, top and bottom, and I also smudged it along the upper lash line just to give my eye just a little bit more definition. But all in all, this is a great little palette. I mean, are the shades easily dupable? Yes. Are these comparable to the other eyeshadows that I own from Natasha Denona? I mean, the mattes, the regular creamy matte formula in this eyeshadow palette, I mean, it's really nice. They blend effortlessly and they have great pigmentation. The only thing is these two colors are just so similar. And this cream to powder, the formula is just so much drier than what I'm used to from her. So I don't know. If you are looking for a mini addition to your Natasha Denona collection or just your eyeshadow palette collection in general, I feel like my feelings have kind of shifted. Initially, I had said, you know, if you have the money and this is something that you want to go get, yeah, go for it. But honestly, I feel like this is one that you probably could skip out on. If you wanted to get a different one with similar vibes, I would definitely go with like the Mini Nude. Very similar colors, only they're not as warm and rosy. They are nude, neutral colors. So if you want similar vibes, that's definitely the way to go. Or check out the Glam Face palettes from Natasha Denona. They're a little bit more expensive, but they do have a similar color story and a phenomenal cream cheek product and a highlighter in them as well. So that's my piece, you guys. I had fun creating these little looks. I really like that I was able to create and two looks that did end up looking different from each other. I mean, the colors are definitely in the same family. They're definitely related, but I can see there are differences. Maybe not as much as I would have liked, and I necessarily can't build as much depth with this as I would like, but leave me a comment down below telling me which look is your favorite, and also let me know if you have picked up this palette yourself and what your experience has been with it. I would love to know. But until next time, guys, bye!